now that we've learned about how to make questions in the past using when, now we have to move on and learn a little bit about time phrases, okay? So go to your student book, page 74. Student book, page 74, and we are going to focus on time phrases. We saw this before, but we are going to look at this again because this is something that I'm going to always remember you, okay? So now we are learning about time phrases. So look here. Time phrases, okay? And you use time phrases to help you better explain what you want to say. For example, look, if I say something like, for example, I got married. Okay. But then something is missing, right? I got married. If you give me more information, it helps me understand better. It helps with the conversation and everything. So if you tell me I got married in 2004. Oh, now I have a better idea. So this yellow part here is what we call a time phrase, okay? Because sometimes during the conversation, when I want to say something, when I want to transmit an idea, I have to give a time phrase so people can have a better understanding of the context of the conversation or the information that I want to pass to the person, okay? So here in your book, what you have all these blue sentences. These are all time phrases. For example, 2 years ago, 2 weeks ago, in May, in 2014, on Wednesday, and so on. Okay? But what I want to explain to you is this. Okay? Let me just erase this and explain to you something better, something important. Okay, so you use 3 prepositions when you talk about time phrases. You use the preposition in, you use the preposition on, and you use the preposition at. Okay? And when you think about these prepositions, I want you to think about from something broad and general to something more specific. Okay? Oh, this is kind of ugly. Okay, so I want you to, in is for something that is broad, at is for something that is more specific. Okay, let me write down here broad or something general, broad, and this is for something more specific. Okay, so for example, when you use, let's see here, I was born in April. I got married in 2014. I went to Italy in the summer. So see, These are time phrases, but they are very general. They are not very specific. So when you say something like this, you use in. Okay? That's very important. Okay? But now, when you're talking to someone and you give more detail, let's say when you use on, then it's like this. Let's get a funny. On Wednesday. Oops, this is more specific than it's on. For example, every time, see here, in April in 2014, right? But if you give the day, if you give the date, then it's on. On April 7, 2014. Then it's on. See the difference? So on, it's when you give days or dates. If there is no day or date, then you use in. Okay? So see that you're moving from something general to something more specific. And what is a specific? A specific would be the time, for example, at 3:45 p.m. This is specific. Okay? Good? So don't forget here. Then this is general, but here I want to put day or date, and here you put time. Okay? So you use in for all the things that are in general, but then on when you have day or date, and at when you have the time. Clear? Have any questions? Before we move on, I want to explain to you something that it's not in your book, but it's very important. So look here. When you talk about, look here, morning, afternoon, and evening, you use in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Okay? But then if it's night, look here, you say at night. You don't say in the night, you say at night. And then you're going to ask me why, and because it's English. There's no explanation. It's how people say. That's the proper way to say. Why? Because it's English. No need to know why. Just that's how people say it. Okay? So let me know if you have any questions. I'll be very happy to answer your questions. Okay? But now let's move on and practice. Let's do some exercises.
Okay, everyone, we are now in our student book, page 74, ready to practice a little bit time phrases. Let's go to exercise 2A, page 74 in your student book. So we are gonna now work with some time phrases. Look what the exercise is asking us to do. You have the option now to pause the video and try to do the exercise by yourself, or you just can keep going and do the exercise along with me. Okay, it's up to you. But let's look at exercise 2A. Complete the conversations, use at, in, on, or ago. So these are the words that we use to make time phrases. So let's go here and see what we have to do. So conversation number one. When did Lou and Angela buy their car? They bought their new car. Then you have in parentheses 3 weeks ago. Then you have to complete with the best option here, which is 3 weeks ago. Okay, let's go to number two. When did Lou and Angela get married? They got married. How do you complete this one? Very good. 4 years ago. Very good. Let's move on. Number three. When did Angela have a baby? She had a baby yesterday. Which one do you use with time? You use at. Yesterday at 8:20 a.m. Okay? Conversation number four. When did Lou begin his new job? He began his new job. So when you have a day, you say on Tuesday. Very good. Remember that drawing that I did and showed you in, on, at. Okay, remember that. Number five, when did Lou move to the United States? He moved to the United States. Do you have a day? Yes, you have the day there. So it's on December 15th. Okay. Number six, when did Angela come to the United States? She came to the United States 5 years ago. Okay, she came to the United States 5 years ago. Number seven, when did Angela take the citizenship exam? She took the citizenship exam. You only have the month, so it's in March. When you only have the month, you use in, okay, in March. And number eight, when did Angela register to vote? She registered to vote. Again, you only have the month, so the correct answer is in June. Okay? So the more you practice, you see that you will get used to this. So the secret is not to memorize and focus on memorizing, but the secret is to keep practicing and coming back to this all the time. So this is not the only time you're gonna hear this from me. We heard when we did Ventures 1, and we will keep hearing about this all the time, okay? Because this is very important for us to be able to be familiarized, to be familiar with this, to familiarize ourselves with this, okay? If you have any questions, just reach out to me, okay? I do encourage you, if you have any questions, to send me a message with that, and just let me know what your difficulties are, okay? But at this point, you're gonna keep practicing. Let's go to page 75, okay? Okay, now we are on page 75 in our student book. We will continue to practice how to use time phrases. So we are now on exercise 2B, and let's continue here to use at, in, on to answer the questions here, okay? So the exercise B is again asking us to complete the sentences. Now we have to use at, in, or on. So now let's do this. As I said before, you can pause at any time, do this, and then come back for the correction, or you can just follow along and complete with me. So, number one, Anna graduated in 2005. In, because this is just the year, okay? But now let's go to number two. She got married Saturday, August 16th, 2008. So when you have the day, always when you have the day here, when you have the date, you always use on. Don't forget that. So she got married on Saturday, August 16th, 2008. Okay? Remember that drawing that I showed you in on at from the general to the specific. So don't forget that. So let's go to number three. She had a baby June 21st, 2011, 2:30 a.m. So let's go here and answer this one. She had a baby. Do you have the day? Yes, so you use on. She had a baby on June 21st, 2011. And when you have the time, you use at 2:30. Okay? Questions? Let me know. Number four. She and her family moved to the United States 2012. When you only have the year, you use in. Okay? She and her family moved to the United States in 2012 or 2012. Let's go to number five. She and her husband bought a house. You only have the month. So when you only have the month, when you only have the year, you use in. She and her husband bought a house in April. Okay? Number six, Anna took the citizenship exam May 16th. You have the month, but also you have the date. You have the date here, the day. So you have to use on. Okay? When month comes without the day, without the date, just the month, it's in. But when you have the date, you have the day, always on. Okay? Look here. She became a citizen. You have the day, so it's on Thursday. Okay? And number eight, the last one, she started her new job yesterday. It's time, and time, as you know now, you use at 9 o'clock a.m. Okay? The other exercises we cannot do, so I do encourage you now to, when you have a free time, don't forget to do your workbook, the corresponding pages as a homework, and keep practicing this. Okay? I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.